Statement calls next witness.
Thank you. The state calls Aaron Cordes.
Good morning. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is on my right. It is up one riser. When you get there, please remain standing and raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, who's on my left, will swear you in.
Why don't you own commercial real estate? Yes, you. Why don't you own?
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Thank you. Please be seated. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Aaron Cordes, first name E-R-I-N, last name Cordes, C-O-R-D-E-S.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Cordes.
Good morning.
Ma'am, I'd like to direct your attention to the date of November 21, 2021. Did you attend the Waukesha Christmas Parade that afternoon?
Yes, I did.
And who did you attend the parade with?
My husband and my 2 children.
Do you recall from what location you watched the parade?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled. She may answer.
We watched it from the corner of West and Wisconsin.
Okay. And do you understand that to be near the end of the parade route?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled. She may answer.
I believe it was close to the end. The parade rounded the corner and continued on, and I don't know exactly where it ended.
Okay. And as you were at that location watching the parade, did something unusual happen?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled.
Yes, we saw a car going pretty fast around the corner, and I remember my husband said that's not part of the parade. Grab the kids, because our kids were in the middle of the road picking up candy at the time.
Okay.
So, and the car just did not stop and kept going.
Was there a police officer present at that corner?
Yes, there was.
What did you see the police officer do?
Well, the car, I thought it was coming at us for a minute, but it ended up swerving and going through the barricades, and the police officer fired 3 shots at the vehicle.
You were standing right there at that intersection.
Yes, I was.
Objection.
Objections noted. It's overruled. Her answer may stand. Next question. Go ahead.
What did you do after that, ma'am?
Well, we ran up to the house behind us as the car was coming at us, and I was just kind of keeping an eye out for the car at the time, because it looked like it was out of control, and I didn't know if it was going to go up to the house we were at or what direction it was going. So we just stayed by the house for a little bit, just kind of in shock.
Okay.
After that happened.
Okay. And at some point, did you decide to leave the area?
Yes, we did.
Where did you go?
We were parked a little bit further away because we had gotten to the parade late. So we were parked a few blocks out of the way on Elizabeth Street.
Okay.
At Aries Industries.
Do you have some familiarity with Aries Industries?
Yes, I do.
Relevancy.
Overruled. She may answer. Do me a favor, if there is an objection, wait until I rule on it before you answer.
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
And what's your familiarity with Aries Industries?
Objection.
Overruled.
My husband is employed at Aries Industries.
Do you happen to know the address of that location?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
I don't offhand, no.
Okay. Do you know what street it's on?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled.
Leading.
It's not leading. Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, Elizabeth Street.
Okay. And how were you able to, strike that. You were walking back to Aries Industries, that's where you had parked, right?
Correct.
What was your route or your path that you took?
We continued straight on West Avenue until we got to Elizabeth Street, and then took a right on Elizabeth Street.
Okay. Pretty much a straight shot?
Yes.
Just a couple blocks
Yes,
down West Avenue, and then you hang a right on Elizabeth.
correct.
Okay. As you were doing that, making your way back to your car, did you encounter somebody out on foot?
Yes, we did.
Tell us about that, please.
Objection leading.
Overruled. She may answer.
We had just rounded the corner onto Elizabeth Street, and Darrell Brooks, we encountered Darrell Brooks. He came out of the shadows between a couple houses and approached us.
Okay. Now, you refer to this person by name. Did you know Mr. Brooks prior to this encounter?
Nope,
Okay. Never met him before.
correct.
Objection.
And you said he...
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
The objection came after her answer. Her answer will stand. Next question.
You said he kind of came out of... Did you say the bushes?
Objection.
What did you say?
Objection.
Oh, overruled. She rephrased. He may answer. She may answer. I'm sorry.
It appeared he came from between two houses, so I don't know exactly where he was.
Okay. And did you notice his appearance when he approached you?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
Yes, I did.
What did you notice?
I just remember it was a very windy, cold night, and he was dressed pretty inappropriately for the night. I noticed he was visibly shivering. He had a red short sleeve t-shirt on and was not wearing shoes.
Do you see the same person present in this courtroom here today?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that Mr. Brooks be instructed to remove his mask and look at the witness so she can properly identify him, please.
Mr. Brooks, please unmask and look at the witness.
These days, if you don't have a strong website, you're toast. So I turned to web.com to build mine.
Sir, would you please unmask and look at the witness? Thank you.
Writing something down.
All right, thank you. Just want to make sure you heard me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that the gentleman you encountered on the street that you're describing for us, ma'am?
Yes, it is.
Did Mr. Brooks speak to you in any way?
Objection. I do not consent to being called that name.
You may answer.
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
He asked if either of us had a phone that he could use. And we said, we hesitated because it was strange. It was a strange encounter. And after what we had just witnessed at the parade, I think we were both pretty much on edge at that point. So,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. When you're referring to we, who are you referring to?
sorry, my husband and I.
Okay. Go ahead. So he asked for the phone.
Correct.
You kind of pause.
Yep.
And then what'd you do?
Objection
then-
leading.
Overruled. Go ahead, you may answer.
His next words were, "I'm not going to hurt you. I just need to use your phone." And that's when I gave him my phone.
Okay. Did he use your phone? Did you see him manipulate your phone in some fashion?
Objection. What do you mean by manipulate?
Overruled. She may answer.
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Did you see him use your phone in some way?
Yes, I did.
What did you see him do?
Objection leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
He called his mom.
Could you hear what he was saying on his end?
Yes, I could hear what he was saying.
Could you hear the responses being provided by the person on the other end of the phone?
Objection. Speculative.
Overruled. You may answer.
No, I could not hear the other side of the conversation.
Okay. Tell us to the best of your memory what you remember Mr. Brooks was saying into the phone.
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
Go ahead and answer, please.
Not to be called that name. Thank you.
He just kept asking his mom to call him an Uber. And he wasn't responding to anything that she was asking. He just kept repeating, "Call me an Uber. I need an Uber now."
Did he sound urgent in his voice?
Objection leading.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
How did his voice sound?
There was a sense of urgency that he needed an Uber and he needed it now.
And he was specifically referring to the person he was speaking to by what name?
Mom.
Objection leading.
Overruled. She will answer. Her answer will stand.
At some point, did Mr. Brooks turn his attention to you and ask a question to you as he was still on the phone?
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
Go ahead and answer.
He asked for the address where we were located at the time.
What did you tell him?
I did not know the address, so I asked my husband what the address was, and he provided the answer.
Okay. And again, you're very close to your husband's workplace.
We were actually in the parking lot at that time.
Okay. I'm going to, well, let me ask you this. At some point, did he terminate his phone call?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, he did.
And what happened then?
He said that he was freezing, and he asked if I knew of any place that he could go warm up. So my husband directed him towards the lobby of Aries.
Okay. Did he return your phone? Did he return your phone to you?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And did you see if he left your presence? Where did he go?
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
He went up to the lobby.
You saw that?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you go?
We were pretty on edge at that point, so we put our kids in the car as quickly as possible and drove down the road.
Okay. I'm going to show you some exhibits on the screen in front of you, okay? First is 171, I'm sorry. Do you see a photograph on the screen in front of you, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you recognize anybody or any place in that photograph?
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
I recognize the Aries building in the background and Darrell Brooks on the porch.
Okay. 171's previously been admitted, Your Honor. I'm going to request permission to publish again.
Permission granted.
Objection.
All right.
It's noted. It's overruled. It's already been received.
Ms. Cordes, that's a touch screen in front of you. Could you just please point out Aries Industries and specifically, if you can, the area where you saw Mr. Brooks head for the lobby of the building?
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name again. For the record.
Jury will disregard that last comment by the defendant.
So do you want me to circle?
Yeah, circle or X or dot, whatever.
It's way in the other corner over here, so it's hidden by the trees.
Okay. So the area where you first encountered Mr. Brooks, is that actually shown in this photograph?
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name.
Jury will disregard that comment.
I don't consent. For the record.
Go ahead and answer, ma'am.
It's more over here where we were parked. There's a second parking lot over there.
Okay. And then the person in the photograph, can you circle the person, please? Is that what Mr. Brooks looked like that evening when you spoke to him?
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name.
Go ahead and answer.
Yes.
Okay. Now we're going to put up Exhibit 76. And we're going to play it for you first before it gets shown to the jury, okay? So let me know when it's up, please.
It's on her screen.
Okay, thank you. For the record, this is a clip that's 53 seconds long. I'm just going to play maybe the first 10 seconds or so and see if she recognizes. All right, we've played about the first 10 seconds of that clip. Do you recognize the what is shown in this video, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
What do you recognize it to be?
It's the lobby of Aries Industries.
Okay. And is this the door that you directed Mr. Brooks to?
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name.
You may answer, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe this video is a true and accurate depiction of the events of November 21 of 21?
Yes, I do.
Move to admit 76 and permission to publish, Your Honor.
I believe there was an objection. It's noted. It's overruled. Exhibit 76 is received and permission to publish is granted.
The witness wasn't there in this video. How could it be relevant?
Your objections noted, sir.
How could it be
We're
relevant?
going to play it in its entirety, Your Honor. Jury's got it. They got it. Okay, thank you. Play. Okay, we can pause it at the 39-second or 40-second mark. I said we'll play the whole thing, but did you see a person approach the doors to the building during the video?
Yes, I did. I saw Darrell Brooks approach the door.
And is that consistent with what you saw that night as you watched Mr. Brooks?
Yes.
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
And now that you look at the door, do you see the address for the building on the door?
Yes, I do.
And what is the address, please?
550.
Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I don't have any other questions.
All right, Mr. Brooks may have questions for you. Any cross, sir?
I don't consent to being called that name, for the record.
Your cross, please.
Can I get to it? You just stated that before the interaction with the person that you had, you didn't know him. That be fair to say?
Yes, that's fair to say.
So how could you refer to him by name if you didn't know him?
I have seen the news since then and the video of you being arrested, and you had since been identified on TV.
So that's how you came to the name?
That's correct.
So it'd be fair to say that you got that off of news reports?
That's correct.
You said the individual you spoke with seemed out of place and disoriented, like he didn't know where he was. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
And how would you characterize disoriented?
You just seemed very, very nervous and that you didn't know where you were.
Who's you?
You had specifically said, I don't know where I am.
Who's you?
Or where am I, specifically?
So disoriented would, from your perspective, be exactly what?
Disoriented as you did not know where you were.
And you made reference to your phone being used, right?
That's correct.
And you also made reference to not being able to hear the person on the other line.
That's correct.
But you also made reference to not the person who used your phone not being able or not answering what was being asked to them. That'd be fair to say?
Objection. That's a compound question, vague and unclear.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
If you couldn't hear what was being said on the other end of the line, how can you say that there was questions being asked?
Well, there was clearly a conversation going on, and you just kept repeating, just call me an Uber, that you were very frustrated, and whoever was asking questions of you didn't just to call you an Uber. It's just my interpretation of it. I could not hear the other end of the phone conversation.
So it'd be fair to say you don't know what was being discussed.
Besides call me an Uber, yes, that's correct.
Do you recall the description you gave in your written statement?
Don't buy solar panels. Seriously, there is a very good reason why we're saying this. If you're thinking about buying...
Yes, I believe so.
You believe so?
Yes, I recall the description I gave.
And what was that?
The description I gave was an African-American male, about 160 pounds, 5'8", wearing a red t-shirt, no shoes.
And you referred to this individual coming from between houses, you said?
That's correct.
Is that what you actually saw?
Yes, that's what I saw. I saw you approach us at the very start of the block from between two houses.
Any reason why that's not in your written statement?
I don't recall. I didn't actually write it. There was a detective at our house that was writing the statement for it. Maybe that part got missed. I'm not sure.
Was it this statement?
I don't have it in front of me to see it.
Permission to show the witness the written statement?
Well, I don't know that it's necessary, Your Honor. She hasn't expressed any inability to recall.
Sustained.
She did. She just said she don't know why something was not in her written statement.
That's what she said is she doesn't know why the detective didn't write it in there. The detective is the one who wrote it, Your Honor.
So sustained. Next, sustained is to the form of. Mr. Brooks, let me answer. Sustained is to the form of the question.
So the officer was writing what you told him, or did you actually write it yourself?
I did not actually write it myself. The detective was writing it as we were speaking, my husband and I.
Do you recall that officer's name?
No, I do not.
You made reference, when you were at the parade, you made reference to seeing a car swerve, or you said the car was swerving toward you?
It looked like a car that was out of control. I didn't know which direction it was headed.
And you said you saw it drove toward the barricade?
Correct. I saw it drive through the barricade.
When you say through the barricade, describe that.
The car sped up and drove straight through the barricade and continued on West Avenue.
Do you recall if this barricade was standing up or
I
laid
do
down?
not. I do not recall that. I was in the middle of the road to prevent traffic from coming through, so I don't know if it was. I would assume it was standing up.
And was it at that same moment that you saw officer fire shots?
That's correct.
Do you recall how many shots?
3 shots.
Did you see if the shots hit the vehicle, the car, as you say?
No, I did not. I was running up towards the house at the time with my son in my arms, and I was just trying to keep an eye on the vehicle, so I did not see where the shots actually went.
Did you see a vehicle hit anyone?
No, I did not.
Could you see into the vehicle when you saw it?
No, I could not.
Do you see this award behind me? Me and my twin brother Rasmus got this award because we made over 50.
And you said the vehicle went down West Street?
West Avenue, correct.
Did you see where it went from there? Or did it just go straight down West Avenue?
It continued on West Avenue. I was at one point the house was blocking the road, so I couldn't see where the vehicle continued on.
Anything else stick out to you about that day?
I don't know. Just, I mean, besides seeing the vehicle and the police firing shots and then running into you afterwards, I mean, that was strange enough.
Do you recall what day you gave the statement? Was
Not
it
exactly.
the same night, or was it a few days after, or a week, or?
It might have been up to a week later. I don't know the exact date.
Recall why it took so long?
I don't know. I received a phone call from a detective probably almost a week later, and I would assume that they had a lot of other people to attend to, other witnesses to get to. It was not a priority at the time. I was not.
So it'd be fair to say by that time you had saw news reports and had learned information about what happened.
Correct.
before today, had you seen any of the video footage or photos that you saw today? Had you seen any of those before today?
Are you talking about the video of you being arrested, or I guess I don't understand the question.
The video footage that you saw today. Had you seen that before today?
I did see the Aries Industries clip before, yes.
What about the other exhibit that was shown?
I recognize that from a ring video I had seen from the arrest.
So it'd be fair to say a lot of what you learned came from news reports.
After the incident, yes.
Did you make any claim in this matter? Filed a claim?
What kind of a claim?
Have you filed any claim?
No.
You filed a complaint?
I just gave a witness statement to the detectives. I did not file a complaint specifically.
About what time did you learn that you could possibly testify in this matter?
Objection, relevance.
Overruled. You may answer.
When I received a subpoena in the mail from the DA's office.
Do you recall whose name was on that subpoena?
Sue Opper.
Do you see Sue Opper in court today?
Yes, I do.
Can you point her out for the jury and for the record?
I'll stipulate, Your Honor.
Thank you. The record will reflect the stipulation and the witness identifying Attorney Opper.
Do you recall around what time you received that subpoena?
I don't recall exactly, no.
After you received the subpoena, did you follow up with the district attorney's office at that point?
They contacted me.
Attorney Opper did?
Someone from the witness. I don't know what her exact title is. It's someone from the DA's office. It's not specifically Sue Opper.
Like a witness advocate type of?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Was it like a witness advocate?
I don't know what her exact title is.
Do you recall her name?
Yeah, yes, her name is Carrie.
After you learned of the additional information, did you read any police reports or a complaint?
No.
Are you aware of who the plaintiff may be in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained.
Ever been notified who the plaintiff is in this matter?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain, Your Honor.
Next question, please.
Do you even know if there's a plaintiff in this matter?
Yes, there is.
And who's the plaintiff?
I believe it's the state of Wisconsin.
Would that constitute a breathing human being or an entity?
Objection,
Grounds.
argumentative, irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Are you aware that only a human being can bring a complaint or be a plaintiff?
Objection, misstatement
Grounds.
of the law.
Sustained.
You ever had any interaction with the state of Wisconsin?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Sustained.
Grounds for the
Sir, under
sustain.
90611, please. Move on.
Have you ever contacted the state of Wisconsin in this matter?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain.
Under 90611, move on, or I'll declare the cross-examination ended.
Of course you would. No further questions.
Any redirect?
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You may step down. This will also be a very good opportunity to take a mid-morning break. I'll rise for the jury, please. For the parties, please be back in 10 minutes. We are in recess.
That's great.
It is. You gotta.
Is that a judicial determination that you don't have to answer there, Your Honor?
Mr. Brooks, I've already answered subject matter jurisdiction. You know that full well.
No, I
The
don't.
written decision was entered last week.
I know nothing. It has yet to be proved. That's what I know.
Doesn't need to be proved.
It does. It has to be proven by the prosecution. You know that.
No, I actually know to the contrary, so we're not going to address
So
it.
so show me a lawful law that it says that.
Mr. Brooks, I provided you with the law.
No,
I'll
you
give
have
you
not.
you know what? I'll have my clerk print off another copy of that order. So
You don't have to
it.
do that. Have
No,
her
I'm going
print.
to because you apparently didn't read
No,
it. So
have
I
her
hope you
print
read
off
it this
proof.
time.
Have her print off proof that you have subject matter jurisdiction. How about that? It has to be proven
Mr.
for the
Brooks,
record. It has
you
yet
are
to be
simply
proven.
wrong as a matter of
No,
law.
I'm not. If I'm wrong, then show me that I'm wrong.
I've given you the constitutional and
No,
the
you haven't.
statutory authority.
No,
and
you
the
have
case
not.
law.
You have not proven it on the record.
It doesn't need to be proven, sir.
It does need to be proven.
I believe the jury's coming in.
All
They're
right.
coming in. Somebody-
I believed it. You gotta prove it. You gotta prove subject matter jurisdiction. Set for value in return for value of that document is not proof of subject matter jurisdiction, for the record.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. State may call its next witness.
The state will call Anthony Winters.
All right. Good morning, sir. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is on my right. It is upper riser. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, who's on my left, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Please be seated. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
Anthony Winters, ANTHONY WINTERS.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Sir, direct your attention to November 21st, 2021. Were you working in the city of Waukesha that day?
Yes,
What were you doing?
I was driving Lyft.
Can you explain for those few people, I think, who don't know what Lyft is, can you explain what that is?
It's a rideshare app where people can request rides from point A to point B.
Now, some people use Uber. Is that similar?
Yes, same thing. Yeah.
And is that your full-time job?
No,
Did you go to the parade, the city of Waukesha parade that day?
I did not.
Were you aware that the parade was in downtown Waukesha that day?
Objection, lady.
Overruled. He may answer.
Yes, I was.
How were you aware of that?
Everything was blocked off and there was heavy police presence, and then I saw kind of the convoy going.
Okay. So you say everything was blocked off. What do you mean by that?
Like a lot of the streets, when I was having to go pick up people, a lot of the streets were blocked off, so I couldn't go certain ways.
Do you recall approximately what time you started driving that day?
It was around like 3:25.
Mr. Winters, do me a favor. If there is an objection that's been raised by either party, wait to answer the question. I'll rule on the objection and then I'll let you know.
Yes, ma'am.
So the objection's noted, it's overruled, and you may continue answering.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said,
3:25.
thank you. And do you know approximately how many fares you took that day?
That
Objection,
day,
speculative.
Overruled. He may answer.
that day, it was probably anywhere from like about 11 or 12, somewhere in there.
Were your clients all from the city of Waukesha? Was that the general area they were working?
Objection. Irrelevant.
Overruled. You may answer.
No. I just happened to be in that area at that time.
At some point after, do you know approximately what time you got done working that night?
Oh, it was probably later, around like 10, 11 o'clock that night.
When you got home, did you see anything on the news?
No.
At some point, did you become aware of an incident that had occurred during the city of Waukesha Christmas parade?
Yes.
Objection. Leading.
Overruled. He may answer. His answer may stand.
Generally, what information did you obtain?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled.
When I saw a bunch of police cars going, I contacted my sister because my niece goes to school at Carroll, and I was wondering what was going on. She told me something that wasn't even true that was going on, but later after, like the next day after watching the news and, social media, I found out what happened.
Looking back when you were working November 21st, 2021, did anything seem relevant with regard to that news that you saw?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yeah, I had a call that was in the area, and it was just like a really weird call because no one ever showed up, but there was a very descriptive message that I got from the person that asked for the call about who I was looking for.
Okay, so I'm going to direct your attention to that day, November 21st, at approximately 5:15 p.m. What time did that, or how do you receive communication when you get a client?
When you're signed into the app, it'll just pop up. You can accept it or you can decline.
So you say it just pops up. How does it pops up on
my cell phone?
Okay, and did you receive a fare request or a ride request at approximately 5:15
Objection, leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, I did.
What information were you given with regard to that request?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. He may answer.
So the fare came in for Dawn, and the address I was picking up at was 550 Elizabeth, and it was an empty. Well, it wasn't empty. It was an empty parking lot, but it was a company that was closed. And then I was given information that I was looking for a light-skinned black guy with dreadlocks.
Okay. Now, when you say that the name associated was Dawn?
Mm-hmm.
That's a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And what does that mean to you? I'm not sure exactly how Lyft works, but...
That's just...
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
That's just the name of the person that I'm picking up. That I'm assuming that's the person I'm picking up.
Okay. And were you in the city of Waukesha when that pop-up came on your phone?
Yes.
So what did you do?
I drove to the parking lot and waited for and hit that I arrived and waited for whomever was going to come out of the company.
And that would be, you said 550 Elizabeth Street?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's in the city of Waukesha?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you receive information as to where you're taking the person when you initially get the pop-up?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
When you initially get the request, you don't know where the person is going until you say that you arrived. Then you can see the address that they're going to.
Okay. So, did you eventually arrive at that location?
Yes.
What did you observe?
It was just a dark parking lot and a couple police cars on the street. No one was really around those. It seemed like it was like a closed building. I didn't know, it was empty parking lot, no one there.
Okay. And did you see anyone, both strike that. When you arrived at the location, do you send something through your app that says, I've arrived?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, there's a button that you can just click and say I arrived, and it sends a message to the person letting you know that you're out, let them know that you're outside and they have 5 minutes to come out.
Now, is that when you would get the destination on your app?
Yes.
And do you recall what that destination was?
I don't recall the physical address. I just know it was on 19th Street in Milwaukee.
So you said that the automated message went out saying that you were there and that you give that person 5 minutes?
Yes.
What happened after 5 minutes?
I began to message with whomever the person was on the other end, letting them know that I was waiting outside and that I was in a white car.
And this is a chat feature as part of the app?
Yes.
Objection, leading.
Overruled. Your answer may stand.
And then what happened?
I received a message back letting me know who I was looking for and that they were calling a ride for someone else and they didn't know where he was. They then again gave me a description of who I was looking for.
And what was that description?
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
Ask and answer.
Overruled. He may answer.
A light-skinned black guy with dreadlocks.
After you were given that information, what did you do?
I sent a message saying I didn't see anyone. I received a message back saying I don't know where he is. His phone died. He called me from someone else's phone.
What did you do then?
At that point, I didn't know. It was a basketball court out there, so I thought I was waiting on a kid.
Okay.
So I didn't want to just leave. So I got out my car. I knocked on the door at the company to see if anybody would come out. I rang the buzzer. Got no answer. I got back in my car. I sent the message saying there's no one around. Could they, make sure the person comes out, because I had already been past the 5-minute grace period.
Okay.
I got a message back saying I'll try to call them. I don't know what to tell you.
Then what happened?
At that point, I had been out there for about 7.5 minutes. So at that point, I just canceled the ride.
Approximately what time do you recall canceling the ride?
Objection, lead.
Overruled.
It was around 5:30ish, somewhere around there.
And when someone requests a ride and they don't appear, is there a charge then to that person?
Objection, irrelevancy.
Yeah, there's a charge if they go past the 5-minute grace period. There is a charge.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further. Thank you.
There may be some questions. Any questions for this witness?
Yes. Do you remember about what time the call came in for the Lyft?
5:15.
Do you recall being interviewed by any law enforcement in the days after that night?
Yes.
And do you know if that was by phone or in person?
It was in person.
Upon arriving at the destination, you were supposed to be giving a lift to someone. Do you recall if there was anything strange about the destination?
Yeah, it was a closed building. There was no one out there, no cars in the parking lot.
And you said you canceled the ride around 5:30ish?
Yeah.
Do you recall what you did from that point?
I took another fare.
Same area or?
Same area.
And you made reference to someone telling you something that wasn't true that was going on. Do you recall what that was?
I do recall what that it was. My sister said that the school told my niece to stay in her dorm because there was an active shooting.
And usually, does your Lyft app have a profile picture attached to it?
No.
Do you recall when speaking to law enforcement something to the effect of referring to a profile picture or description included in the profile?
I recall saying that there was no profile picture.
And were you able to see any phone numbers or contact information?
I was not. You can't see that stuff on the app.
Before you canceled the ride, do you recall the last contact with the person who had set the Lyft up?
Yes, I'm pretty sure they said, I don't know what to tell you, when I told them that I didn't see anyone.
And that was via text message?
It's a chat through the app.
And you said usually, even if it's no pickup, there's a charge still associated with it?
Yep.
Do you recall how many requests you completed after that failed one?
Approximately 8 to 10.
And you did state that you were not at the parade that that evening, right?
True.
No further questions.
All right, thank you. Any redirect?
No.
All right, thank you, sir. You may step down.